good for you guys today?
So my very, very responsible assistant, Samantha, is going to pass them all out to everyone. You know, it's the least we could do.
And just FYI, guys, unfortunately, AJ will not join us today. He's got to catch a flight.
Boo!
Guy
gets a triple-double, he bails on media.
That's why he was hooping tonight.
We know why you got a triple-double. Knew we didn't have to talk.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Obviously, we have head coach Kevin Young here. Coach, you have an opening statement? If not, we'll open it.
Merry Christmas. That's my opening statement.
Okay, we'll open it for questions.
What was working so well for AJ to get his first triple-double as a college player?
Well, he's aggressive, number one. You know, he's really starting to understand how aggressive he can be. You know, college basketball, I think by just nature is just physical. And I think, you know, with his ability to get by his man, you know, people put hands on him, and so he's able to get to the line a lot. And then, look, they were, for the most part, playing in one-on-one coverage, you know, and so he's able to do that. And then the 10 assists, you know, once he did start drawing a little bit more of a crowd, was able to find guys. And so he just, you know, he had the whole thing. I'm more happy with the 10 rebounds. He finally gets in there and gets some boards on the offensive glass. Not finally, but it's something we've talked about, though, and him doing that more and more, which he, you know, when he goes, he gets them because he's so athletic. So just a great night all around for him. Obviously, Tyson was hitting me with some crazy historical stats about what he just did. So it was pretty cool.
What were some of those historical?
I think it was like the first. I don't want to misquote the guy, so I'll let you guys look it up.
But, you know, when he signed, you kind of, I remember you noted when he signed out of high school that you sometimes wanted to see him just take over games. Have you challenged him at all during this non-conference to kind of step it up and just take over games at times?
Not so much in the non-conference, but like if you know, our close games, he's the guy who has the ball, you know, and he's been able to walk games down, you know, pretty much in every close game we've had. And so, you know, I know he can go to another level. I do know that. You know, I think he's positioned himself well to, you know, be super aggressive. But that doesn't just mean scoring, just making the right play as we kind of shift gears now into the conference schedule.
Coach, what did you make of your defense tonight overall?
First half, I thought we were as disconnected as we've been all year. You know, I tried really hard to get ahead. I'm very much like elephant in the room, just address it guy. You know, I talked a lot about, you know, there was, I think I counted 3 high-ish major teams last night that lost to teams they probably should have beaten. So I said that to the players. I thought Eastern Washington came in and played extremely free and aggressive in the first half. You know, shot 23s, which we don't really give up threes at that rate, made 8 of them. And we were just disconnected. We were lazy, and it was just poor effort, honestly, which usually we don't do. So we called the guys out at halftime, showed them some clips, and had made them kind of own up to it. And I thought we did switch the scheme a little bit in the second half that allowed us to be a little bit more connected and less aggressive, which I thought allowed us to guard the three-point line better. You know, they only went 2 of 12 in the second half, and that kind of changed it. So it was definitely a tale of two halves on the defensive end.
Do you think playing 4 games in 9 days factored into the defense at all, or is that just?
No, not really. I just think Christmas is in 4 days, and everyone's excited about that. You either have family in town or you have a trip on the horizon. So, look, some of it's human element, but again, I mean, you know, Eastern Washington, you have to give them credit. They've played a lot of high major teams down to the wire. So, you know, Coach Monson knows what he's doing. He's been at it a long time, and he had his guys ready.
What did you make of Dulos debut?
I liked it. You know, he's big. I think he's going to help us on the glass for sure. You know, the shot blocking right out of the gate. You know, he's just a grown man in there. So as he gets in shape, you know, he's been sick. So we thought about not even playing him, but we wanted to get at least some minutes under his belt. But you know, once he figures out a little bit of how his teammates like to play, I think he's going to be really, really helpful. And then the thing that stood out was the defensive and offensive rebounding and the rim protection.
Where does he rate right now in terms of like what he knows scheme-wise versus?
Not high.
Okay.
Yeah, he's practiced 1.5 times.
Okay.
You guys shot 42 threes tonight. That volume's been a little lower at times this year. Was that a point of emphasis coming in tonight, getting more shots from deep?
The biggest point of emphasis was, I mean, that's a team that changes their defenses up quite a bit. They throw the kitchen sink at you. I mean, they played man, they played a 2-3, 3-2, 1-3-1. So they're throwing different things at you. So the big point of emphasis was like what we call 0.5, making quick decisions, which usually leads to good ball movement and oftentimes a lot of threes. So we had 23 assists, 15 of those were in the second half. But I told Moo the other day that I loved the threes that he took when he went 0 for 7. I thought all of them were awesome. And so tonight he took the same ones and goes 5 for 11. So if he can shoot them at a high volume for us, I think it really opens things up for everybody else. But again, I think teams sometimes with us, you're going to have to kind of pick your poison if you want to try to guard the paint. You're going to have guys that can knock down shots. And tonight AJ was finding them, so was Rob, which he always does.
Now with this 4-game homestand complete and BYU, it's right. This is BYU. We added to the mix. How do you feel about that second unit? Just the overall your depth that you have going into Big 12 play now.
Yeah, I mean on the front line for sure. Feel just more equipped. I think for the Big 12. It's going to impact other guys. I've done this a lot in the NBA where you bring somebody in mid-year. I think almost every year I coach in the NBA, we had a mid-year addition. So it's harder than people think. It impacts, everything, it's not just the on-court stuff, right? It's team chemistry. Now the bus seating's different. The plane seating's different. The locker room seating's different. Scripts are different. And on shooting, right? I could just keep going on and on, right? And so he's a great guy, which I think helps. I think the guys will embrace him. We have some really good guys on our team, but it will impact other guys, and you just hope guys stay ready and continue to work on their game and are ready when their number's called. And is that something that I'm super excited about doing going into conference play? Not really, but we still feel like in the big picture it's going to make us the best version of ourselves.
What day will everyone get back from Christmas break? Now, 12 days. I'm sure this is probably new.
Yeah, no,
this long a break.
It is. Honestly, you're gonna laugh at me. I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. I was trying to really just get through this game. My assistant's got to get me up to speed with that.
You have 12 days off until Big 12 play starts. Coming out of the non-conference, where would you assess the readiness of this team in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely things we can get better at, but I think we're B+, I would say. There's definitely things that we want to sharpen up, but we've played some good teams. We've been in a lot of different situations. I think we've played stylistically, for the most part, Big 12-ish styles, I think, a lot of teams that we've played against. So I think there'll be a lot of, I'm big on reference points. I think there's a lot of things we can refer to from the non-conference that we can implement with our game plans in the conference.
Two more questions.
From what you've seen around the conference, you've had time to check in on some of these other teams. What do you make of the whole kind of conference, how they performed in non-con, and just maybe is this league tougher this year, you think, potentially?
Hard to say if it's tougher. I think, Big 12's had a great non-conference. Texas Tech had a big one the other night against Duke, and not to single them out because there's been a bunch. But, look, it's a great league. It's a great league, great coaches. I think the talent level is higher. I don't know if that'll make the schedule any tougher. It's hard as it is, you know what I mean? So I know all the coaches in the league, when we're at the Big 12 Media Day, everyone's very complimentary of how hard our league is for good reason.
I want to let her know what's the Christmas plans for the young family.
Yeah. So we got the in-laws in town. I got my mother-in-law, father-in-law, a couple brother-in-laws and cousins at the house tearing up all kinds of stuff, I'm sure. So it'll be nice to take a couple days off and get some family time in.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
You guys make of AJ's triple-double.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's great talent, great player. It's crazy.
It's awesome.
You guys piled up 109 points tonight. What made you guys so effective offensively in your opinion?
I think just playing together, just playing fast, and I think we shot the ball well from three. So just making threes, I think that was huge.
You guys put up 42 three-point attempts. Was that point of emphasis coming into the game, or just how it worked out?
I think it kind of
It's
just
just how it
happened.
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, props to these guys for getting in the lane and finding us as shooters and shooting well too.
What's kind of your comfort, confidence level on the offensive end right now? Obviously, it feels like you guys are clicking at a pretty high rate right now.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and that's only going to keep growing. And, not to take away from that, but our defense is so we're so focused on this defensive end right now. We know it's coming. We've both been around this league, and offensively we're going to keep growing, and defensively we need to keep growing and keep moving forward as well.
Do you think a night like this on the defensive end is good for you guys going forward, having maybe lighting a fire under you going forward into Big 12 play defensively?
I feel like it definitely is. I think they were like 8 for 20 from 3 in the first half, so they went 2 for 12 in the second half. So just us being able to lock in on that, moving on to Big 12 play would be huge.
Richie, KY said he walked in at halftime, said, I'm an elephant in the room guy. He said he pointed out that multiple teams had lost around this time just due to the fact that they kind of took their eye off the ball. Did that help you guys out in that second half, turn things around a bit?
Yeah, I mean, he said that, was that this morning or yesterday? But,
Yeah, I think it was this morning.
Every game we know we're going to get everybody's best, and we got to bring it every game. Yeah.
Richie, what's like the halftime workflow like that KY and the staff kind of present to you guys with clips, and then you guys just kind of make these adjustments in game where you guys see a completely different team compared to first half?
Yeah, I mean, it starts with Drew running in, putting up the clips, and having super specific points of emphasis. Today it was just this defensive end, and just some miscues that involved me, and definitely one of those wake-up moments for me. But yeah, I mean, just points of emphasis. KY, he's not full of words, but he's full of just super good points of emphasis.
Rob, what do you think are the strengths of this team heading into conference play? As Rich said, you guys know the Big 12. What do you think the strength of this team is heading into league play?
I think our length. I think adding Beto is great for us. Just adding more size. I think it's going to be big for us to keep teams off the offensive glass. And I feel like today we just grew with that, and we're just going to keep growing in the conference play.
How is this locker room, speaking of Beto, how are you guys embracing him and making him feel like he's part of the team to kind of hit the ground running for league play?
We're bringing him in well. We actually haven't had a full practice with him yet, so we're looking forward to that coming back from the break.
And Richie, your thoughts on Beto, what hopefully he can bring to this team?
Yeah, I mean, you saw it today on the offensive glass. I think it could bring just another level of toughness. He's experienced, he knows what he's doing, and just having that more of a veteran mindset, I think would be really good for us, especially from the standpoint of a big.
2 more questions.
Just to follow up on that with Beto, is that maybe even more impressive in some ways that a guy can come in and just kind of pull down 4 or 5 rebounds off the street without people practicing?
I think it's super impressive. I mean, that's all him. So give him all the credit. I mean, he just went in there and played tough and just was playing hard. He didn't even know all our sets, and he was just out there working hard.
You know
Next question.
We know what AJ does on the court, but I think he got everybody Christmas presents. What does there just say who about he is as a person?
Well, I've known AJ for a long time. I mean, he's a great person. He's been like a brother to me. So, I mean, yeah, he's a great person. Got all of his gifts. Thankful for him.
Yeah, 100%. Great dude. Happy he's here.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.